Okay, well, it looks like we're ready to get started. I am hoping that everybody made it tonight on time. I did start like a minute early, but I know that you guys lag behind me just slightly. So I just wanted to go ahead and get started as on time as possible. So if you could do me a favor, if you're out there and you're watching, would you please post down in the comments whether you're on YouTube or my website or on Facebook. Just write in the comments, say hello, tell me where you're from. And that will give me an idea as to if people can actually hear me and see me. I will let you know that if you're on my website, I will be checking there tonight. It's a little more difficult for me to check comments and questions there, but I will in between videos and things I've got going on. But I do have a couple of things tonight I'm doing for fun, and I'm not going to be able to check those quick enough because it's going to be a whoever can answer first thing. So if you're out there on my webpage, you can always go to YouTube, which is DDStamps. And oh, good, everybody's chiming in that they can hear me. That's awesome. Thank you. Anyway, you can either go to my Facebook page or you can go to YouTube, and there's a link right down below. You can just click on that link and it should take you. And if you're on my website, if you click on the actual image down below, down in the corner here, it probably says YouTube. Just click on that and then you can go ahead and make comments. And I see that David is on YouTube, so I know that those comments are coming through. That's awesome. And people are on Facebook commenting, and I haven't been able to check on my website yet, but I will. So thanks everybody for coming. I have to tell you today was one of those days in Red Lodge. It was 55 degrees at lunchtime. It was gorgeous. The snow is almost all gone, was almost all gone. It's unheard of in December. And by 5:30 tonight, we had a snowstorm blow in. So the wind is bad out there tonight, and it sometimes can knock me off. But if I get knocked off, wherever you're viewing from, stay there because I will get back on. And usually I don't know when I get knocked off, but I will try and find out so that I don't lose you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've got a lot planned tonight. As normal, I went a little crazy, had made a few plans and then changed a couple things tonight or this afternoon. And I just had a few more things I had to show you, and I can't seem to stop. So anyway, before we get started, a couple of reminders. This first slide is just showing you probably what you're looking at if you're over on my Facebook page. And there's a couple of things I want to tell you about. Now, down here in the corner, let me get to that. Down here in the corner, if your screen is lagging or the video is lagging, you can click on this little gear here and you can take down the number on the video, and it might work better. Or you can also go up. Oh, whoops. You can also click it to go up so that you get a better, clear image on that. And then down here in the corner where it says auto refresh comments, if this little box is checked, the comments on YouTube are refreshed every 90 seconds. And it doesn't matter if you're typing or not. If you're in the middle of typing and it refreshes, you're going to lose everything that you typed. And so I'm going to tell you now that when we get to the part where we are playing a few little games tonight, you might want to uncheck that so that when you're typing in whatever your answer may be, it doesn't refresh and knock you off. Does that make sense? You can always go up and refresh over here anytime that you want to see, if you want to see what people are commenting on or if you want to make comments. Now, I am going to be monitoring the comments tonight as best I can. So, you know, let me know if I miss a question, ask questions anytime. But if I miss one, please feel free to remind me that I missed one. Let me know, and I will answer again or find the answer. So I just wanted you to know I'm pretty proud of myself because this is what my stamp room looked like at about 1:30 this afternoon. And it was bad. It was bad. I have been a busy beaver doing lots of things. You can see Christmas packages back there. Lots of stuff going on. Sorry. Anyway, there's lots of stuff going on, and I'm pretty proud of myself because as you can tell when I come back on screen here, it's a little cleaner than it was in that picture. And you can even see Charlie Brown in the back there. My husband's working and I are working on the yard decorations, and Charlie Brown is broken, so he's in here to get fixed. And then he'll go back out in the yard. So pretty good, huh? Okay, so the reason that the table's clean is because I told myself I could not open the box of the sneak peek stuff for the next catalog coming up until my room was cleaned. So if I was going to show you guys anything tonight, I had to clean my room. And I got it done, so you're welcome. I'll be showing some sneak peeks at the end tonight. I've got lots to show. Like I said, I am sharing a lot tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is the first card. This is the one that showed up on Facebook when you, if you came on that site, this was up there as, you know, just the picture in the thing. And I love it that somebody realized it looks like my water splotch is a person. It's kind of cool. I didn't really notice this water splotch until after I posted this huge picture of it. And like I said, in this technique, every card looks different. So we are going to go ahead and get started right away and show you how I did this technique. And then I will be checking around to make sure and see if anybody has any questions. Oh, that was awful. Oh, can't look there. That was the game. Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com. Today I'm going to show you how I did this card. It's actually very simple. It just uses a sponging technique and some die cuts and a little bit of ink. So let's get started. To begin with, I went ahead and I'm using the shimmery white cardstock from Stampin' Up. I've cut this piece down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I will list all the supplies down below in this YouTube video, but I'll also list the supplies and measurements on my website at www.DDStamps.com. And there'll be a link up there that you can just click to get there. And then I'm also using 1/4 of a sheet of the shimmery white cardstock for the die cutting. And then the base of my cardstock is 1/2 sheet of the shimmery white. It's 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4 folded, and that's just my base of my card. And I am also using the Reason for the Season stamp set. I liked this sentiment, and I wanted to put that one onto my card, so I'm using this. And I'm also using the Sleigh Ride Edgelits. These are a great little stamp set or Edgelit set from Stampin' Up. And this is what I'm going to use for my die cuts. So to begin with, I'm just going to take that piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to start by sponging on ink. And so I'm going to take some, this is Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to go ahead and just sponge some color on. One of the things I like about the shimmery white cardstock is that it really has a nice coating on it, and so inks blend really well on it. And I'm just using 1/4 inches of our sponge. And I'm going to go ahead, and then this is a Rich Razzleberry. And really, I'm just kind of putting some ink on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get some ink on the cardstock. And I loved these big, bold colors. And you can make them as dark as you want by just adding more ink onto the paper. And then Daffodil Delight is the last color I'm coming in with. And then once I've got my colors on there, I'm going to go ahead and take an aqua painter. Let me move those out of the way. Aqua painter I actually use a lot for watercoloring, but this time I'm going to use it for putting just some splotches on there. So this has water in the tube and the brush end, and I'm going to squeeze and make sure that we've got a lot of water into that brush. You can actually see it. And then just drop those right on. You can actually even pour some into your hand if you wanted to, and then drop it onto your card. But it just gives a really fun look to your cardstock. And once I've done that, I've got to let it dry. And as it dries, those waters kind of bleed in together and they move around a little bit. But I'm just going to set this aside to dry while I set up my While I set up my dies. So to begin, I'm going to use the platform. I'm going to run this through the Big Shot. So I've got my magnetic platform. I've got one of my plastic plates. I've got my piece of shimmery white cardstock. I have got 2 of those dies. I'm going to use so I'm going to line up the horse-drawn wagon on this end. And on this end, I'm going to line up my trees. The other thing I want to make sure with on these edgelets is that these little tips are totally onto that plastic, protected by that plastic, because when you make your plate, when you run those through the Big Shot, you won't nick those and bend them. So let me run that through. And just so you're aware, on those more intricate dies, I actually run them through one way and then back it up and take it back through again, just to make sure that I get my cuts. And then you're going to pull gently and get that out of the die. And then you'll just have to pick out just a couple of little pieces of the cardstock and do the same thing with the trees. And again, you just want to be kind of gentle to begin with. Here we go. And then I have my die cut pieces. I see this one needs a little. There we go. Okay. Once you've done that, I'm going to bring back my piece of cardstock here. It's still just a little bit damp, so I might heat it with the heat gun, just to hurry up the process. This one is still a little bit. This one right here got a little large, and it's still wet. But I don't want to blot it out, because if I blot it, I'm going to end up with a completely white spot. And I really like the look of where it just kind of bleeds out a little bit. So I'm going to leave that one to go. In the hopes that I don't lose, that it doesn't totally turn white. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take these and you're going to attach them. What I did is I attached this piece. And I can work with it while it's wet. It's not the end of the world. I'm just going to add this piece on to my card base. And then I'll end up trimming off the bottom. And then this one is actually going to get added on here, but I'm going to add it on there with a dimensional. So I'm going to bring in a couple of dimensionals and add those right to the back of my cardstock. And then I'm going to flip this over and trim it off. So I'll just take a pair of my paper snips and just go ahead and trim right along the edge. It's a little thick there where I was actually cutting through too, but it worked fine. And then trim that off. And then I'll take my card base, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that right onto my card base. I don't want to flip it over yet though, so I guess I'll stamp the black first. This time, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with this "A Very Merry Christmas to You" and stamp that right there. And then my base. And I'll just add that right onto my card base, and that card is good to go. But you can see every single one's going to look a little bit differently, just depending on how you do your water spots and your sponging. But fun card, easy to make, and with that shimmer paper, it really glimmers nicely. So I hope you enjoy. Did anybody notice that my water spots totally changed? during that video. What happened was I had my whole card done and I went to go stamp that black A Very Merry Christmas to You on it, and I dropped it and it rolled right across the whole cardstock. And so I ended up having to do another one, and that's when I got the blotch that looked like the person. This is another one that I did. This was actually the first one I did, but I was gonna keep the blooper in there because it was kind of funny, but I actually took it out. But yeah, the stamp hit the cardstock and it rolled across, and it was like, darn it. Anyway, I probably said something worse. No, I didn't. Anyway, I do know that everybody seems to be hearing me okay and seeing me okay. There is somebody on my website that is having some trouble with spooling, and I think that's on your end. I'm not sure it's on my end. It looks like everything is okay on my end. So I'm thankful that these are all taped so that you can watch it at a later date or right after it's done. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my slides up again. And this is the part where you want to make sure that you have that little comment thing checked off so that you don't miss the contest. Oh, shoot, I was going to show you what the contest was for. Of course, the contest is for a card. You will get a card. But I also got some of these great snowflake elements from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to be giving those away tonight, too. So if you are the first one to answer the question when it pops up, you get the snowflake, a package of snowflake elements and the card in the mail. And how we do it is once I go through things, whoever's the first person on YouTube and on Facebook, that's the winner. And I'll let you know when I come back on, which is probably, I think I might have another video set up. I'm not really sure because I kept changing things. So, okay, so let's see what's on slide 4. Here's the products that I used for that card, just so you're aware. These slides will be available too. I'll post them up on Facebook afterwards, and I may even send a link into those people that signed up to get an email reminder. But these are clickable links, so if you just wanted to click on those and take you right to the store to get what you needed. But that's all the products I used. Okay, so now the next slide is the contest, and it's a fill in the blank. And you have to get both answers right, and you have to do them both on the same line, because there's going to be so many people that I'm afraid that I'll miss one of your answers. So both answers have to be on the same comment. Don't hit enter until you've commented on them. So here we go. I think you'll figure it out. I should have had like music. So I haven't seen an answer come through yet, but it will. So, we'll get there. Looks like Roxy Seipel, Seipel, over on YouTube. Congratulations, you are the winner on YouTube. And, oops, sorry. And on Facebook, oh goodness, I gotta find it. Looks like I think it's D-E-I-G-H, Damien. So you two people, you need to contact me. You need to send me a message on Facebook or YouTube or email. Just let me know that you got the right answer, and I need your address so I can get those shipped out to you. Congratulations. As you know, it's dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we go, laughing all the way. Like you didn't know that answer. Okay, so this is just another little quick video that Stampin' Up! Did using the Jingle All the Way bundle, and it just had a really fun, cute way to use these, and I wanted to show that to you too.
Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Cudney from the training team, and I get to tell you about our Jingle All the Way bundle. This is a really creative and really fun bundle to play with. There are 3 edgelets that were designed to create kind of a silhouette design that can be layered on a card that creates a scene. And the bundle comes with 3 edgelet options. There's this one that's kind of like a horse-drawn carriage. And this one is some little houses. It's kind of like a small town or country skyline. And then this one has 3 kind of forest trees. And then the other half of the bundle is the stamp set. And this was designed to add cute details to your scene or to add the perfect greeting to your card. And the greetings are slightly curved, which I love because they coordinate perfectly with the edge or the line of the edgelet. So let me show you kind of how these products work together on a project so you can get a hang of how it works. I'll start by using the edgelets. I'll show you how to build the sandwich. I'm going to kind of layer these on 3 different shades of green cardstock. I'm going to use the trees to create a forest scene. So this one I'm going to lay maybe about halfway up on my cardstock. And that's how I would make my sandwich and run it through the Big Shot. And this is what it will look like when it comes out. And then I'm going to repeat that 3 different times on 3 different shades of green cardstock, but each time I've moved the edgelet up just a little bit, just to kind of give me some depth. Now in nature, you would never have trees lined up that perfectly. So this middle layer, I'm actually going to flip over and layer my 3 pieces this way. So I get a more realistic looking kind of hilly scene. And I will layer those all on my card front. And I like to use dimensionals as I adhere those because it creates even more depth between those layers. So then if I had those all adhered and added my stamping, this is what the finished card would look like. You can see the stamped images, the little wolves or dogs, and of course the greeting there. That kind of adds to that hilly mountain scene. So now that you have the hang of using the edgelets, let me show you a couple of different ideas of ways to use them. You don't have to layer them at all. On this sample, we've just used the little houses as a single layer, and it creates a beautiful kind of nighttime scene. Another fun thing is using that same edgelet. We've created this card, but it uses the negative piece from when we've cut out the edgelet, so it gives you a different look. And then you can even think outside of using cardstock. This is a fun project where we've used the edgelet to cut a fun envelope or pocket for your card to go inside. And then one more, kind of a different use. We've used the trees, cut those out with some vellum to layer on top of a family photo. So you can still see the photo behind the vellum, but it adds a really cute accent to a Christmas card. So no matter how you use the edgelets and the stamp set, you are going to have so much fun creating your own custom scenes. Now remember, if you purchase both the edgelets and the stamp set, they come with special bundle pricing. So contact your demonstrator or visit the online store to purchase your own.
Okay, so those are just, that was just a couple more. She had some great ideas in there for the edgelets. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring that one up, just because I loved her ideas at the end and I loved how she showed you how to use it. I kind of feel like I'm rushing along here and I haven't really asked anybody if they have a question about the last technique I did or anything. Let me know. I am, like I said, I'm able to check everybody's wherever you are. I know there's few people having some issues, and for the most part, it looks like things are going pretty smoothly. So I'm just going to keep plugging away, and those people that are having issues will have to watch the tape afterwards. So sorry about that. I don't know what's on the next slide. Oh, this is just some samples. Oh, I guess I got to pull it up. I did it again. I have to screen share, otherwise you guys are looking at me. These are some samples that I found around today, things that kind of inspired me with the sleigh edgelets. I just think this ornament card is so cute with the gold paper and the black, gold and black and silver, all those, that's so in right now. It's really trendy. And of course I loved the sleigh with the snowflake paper. And then I couldn't resist the blues and silvers because I do love blue and silver. Oh, sorry. Let me pull her back up here. And then this little one here just cracked me up at the cabanas. I didn't even think to do that. But that little edgelet and a little bit of marker on their stripe, you know, to make them into little cabanas is adorable. Love it. So those were just some fun things that I found around the internet today that I thought would be fun to share with you. I'm going to quick go and see. Oh, Jewel asked if I said to check or uncheck the refresh for comments. I actually said if you're typing, you want to have it unchecked because it will automatically refresh. And if you're in the middle of typing something, it's going to go away. So I recommend that you uncheck it. And then if you're not going to type or you're not going to respond and you want to see what the questions are, you can check it and it'll automatically refresh itself. But it's when you're typing in questions and you get to, you know, the middle of something and then it refreshes and you've lost everything. It's very frustrating. Brenda, just want to let you know you haven't missed a whole lot. We did do a video, which I thought was kind of cool. It was just a sponging technique and a little bit of water. But you'll be able to catch back up and watch that at a later time. I'm going to check over on YouTube and see. Doesn't look like anybody has any questions. So that's good, I guess. If nobody has any questions, we will just keep going here. And I will pull up the next slide. Oh, quick, I'm going to talk about my Pay It Forward campaign. For those of you who don't know, this is the second year I've done this. I did it last year. I'm doing it again this year. I can't thank everybody enough because I had such a fabulous, fun year with Stampin' Up. And one of the ways that I pay it forward to people is during, from Thanksgiving until December 15th, all of my commissions on my sales go towards needy families. And last year, I think my goal last year was to help 4 families. We ended up helping 6 families. And what I do is anybody that places an order during that time frame, all of my commissions go to a fund, and then it's split up. And how I pick the families or the organizations that get the money is that comes from my customers. So if you host a party with me or collect at least $100 in orders from family and friends, or from yourself, or if your order reaches 150, you get the Hostess benefits. But then if you collect orders of $100 with your friends and family, or you place an order of $100 or more, I send you an email and you send me back a name of a family that you want to nominate. I put all those names in a hat and we draw. And it's kind of luck of the draw. Last year, the 6 families were across the United States, which was kind of exciting. I don't know who they are. I just send off the money order and from Santa and make their Christmas a little brighter with your help. The other part of that is that as a bonus, I hold a 5 days of Christmas drawing. And so that everybody who participates in my Pay It Forward, in that email that I send, you get to send me a little Stampin' Up! Wish list of your own. And I draw names for that. And 5 people get items off their wish list. And I mail those out. Excuse me, I mail those out right before Christmas, and hopefully you get them in time. And it's just kind of a lot of fun, and it's a great way for me to pay it forward and with your help. So I thank you for that. If you have questions, feel free to ask about it. It's just an interesting way of doing things. And like I said, it's this time of year, I love to help out lots of different people. The next project that I'm going to do actually uses this festive flower builder punch. I'm going to show a quick video from Stampin' Up, and then I'll show you the project that I did. But it looks like Barb had a question. Do you apply light pressure when you sponge, or do you do it pretty hard? You know, it just depends on the look I'm looking for, Barb. When I was doing that particular card, some of my ink pads were a little dry, and so I was having a hard time. I wanted it to have a darker look, so I needed more ink. I probably should have just re-inked my ink pad. So if you want your bold colors, you know, whatever color you're using, apply it hard. Otherwise, do it lightly. Especially with that shimmery paper that I use, it doesn't matter because it's got a coating on it, so it's going to hold up. It's not going to get it's not going to pill on you. Pat Moffat asked, when you use the precision plate, do you still use 2 cutting plates? No, you do not. When you use the precision plate from Stampin' Up, you just use the 1 cutting plate. So you use your precision plate. I'll get the stuff at the next video and show you. But do I recommend it? Yes. The Stampin' Up has some really fun new thinlits coming out that are pretty intricate, and you're going to probably need it for that. I hadn't played with it much, but when I was out in Washington last month with Stampin' Up, I played with it, and I really do like it. So yeah, I would recommend it. It is on sale this week, and I'm just letting you know that it is on sale. But there's a few things that are coming out that you have to use it for. So I hope that answers your question, Pat. Jean, she really likes that beach card. It's so different. I know. You know, the thing is that I think as sometimes I myself, I shouldn't speak for everybody. I myself, I get caught up in it's a Christmas stamp set, and so I just use it for Christmas. When you figure out that, you know, it's not just a Christmas. Most of the stuff in the holiday catalog is not just Christmas. You could use it for sympathy. You can use it for birthdays. You could thinking of you. There's so much you can do with them. That I have to bring myself out of that box of always using it the same. And that's the one thing I loved about that little cabana card, because it really took me out of looking at that as just a Christmas set. So here is the first video. I have, like I said, I have a project done with this one, but I did want to show this because she uses the punch and the stamp set a little differently than I did. And it's always good to see what other people are doing. So here we go.
Hello everyone, I am Katie, and today I am going to show you how to use the Reason for the Season stamp set and the Festive Flower Builder Punch and make some beautiful paper poinsettias. How do you say them? Either way, they make beautiful flowers. So these two products completely complement each other and can be used together, or they can be used individually. Let me start out with the stamp set, the Reason for the Season stamp set. There are lots of different images in this stamp set, and actually 3 different ways to use them. As you can see, you've got 3 of your holiday greetings right here. You also have a poinsettia image with 3 other smaller images that you can 2-step stamp with this image to create different shading for your flower. And then these 3 images right here are to be used with the Festive Flower Builder Punch. The smaller one right here, this is for your petals. It will show the veins of your petals. And this double petal right here is for this shape right here on the punch. This larger one right here is for the leaf, and it shows the larger veins of the leaf to coordinate with the punch. So I am going to show you how to create the poinsettia flower using these 2 together. Now I like to start out with strips of paper that are about 2.5 inches wide. It works really well as I slide it through the punch. Now I have pre-stamped my images on this real red paper, and I actually stamped with the real red ink as well. So I need 8 of the large petals for the base of the flower, 4 of the smaller petals, and then 2 of these double petals. So I have already stamped all of those out on my strips of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and punch those out now. Now that I have all of my petals punched out and stamped, I need a base to my flower, something that can hold it all together. So I am going to grab one of our circle punches. It doesn't really matter what size because all of the petals are going to be hiding it. You can use either the inch or the 3/4 inch circle punch. I'm going to use the inch circle punch and just cut me a base out of that same real red cardstock. Now, before I start gluing my petals down, I want to give them just a little bit of life. So I am just going to fold them just right down the center and then fold them back out. So that just gives them a little bit of texture and makes them look more like real petals. All right, now that all of my petals are folded, I can actually begin building my flower. So I'm going to use the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. And I like using this because it doesn't dry right away. So it gives me a little bit of wiggle time to move my petals around to get them exactly where I want them before it completely dries. For that base layer, I'm just going to start with 4 petals and glue them down just so they pretty much make an X. So just one straight across from the other. Like that. And then I'm going to do that again for my next level, but this time I'm going to put them in between. So I'm just going to put my glue right there. Now, if you wanted to add more dimension to this flower, you could actually cut out another circle base and go from there and attach that circle base, even with some dimensionals, on the top of this layer to get a nice full flower. See how I'm just moving my petals so I can get that fullness that I want. Just like that. So now before I put on my next layer of petals, I am going to grab my circle punch again and give me another base. And put more glue on there and arrange my smaller petals on that same circle. And now I can bring in my 2 double petals, and those crisscross right over the top of those smaller petals. So I'll start with a dot of glue and lay one across. And then put another dot of glue on top to do the crisscross, just like that. And then to add the layers, I'll put on some glue on the back of that and kind of off center it however I want and push that down. Like I said, I could use dimensionals if I really wanted to pop that up, but I'm just going to use glue and put that together just like that. Now my flower is almost complete, but I'm missing the cute little center part of the flower. So for that, I'm going to use my punch and this little X almost up here at the top. And I want mine to be yellow, so I'm going to bring in some crushed curry and punch out 2 of those. And then same thing with these. I'm just going to add a dab of glue to the very center. Put it in my flower, push it down, and then layer that second one right on top of the first. And there is my flower. So now let's do the leaves. So I've pre-stamped my leaves, so I'm going to punch those out. And for those, I'm going to use this bigger petal or leaf. So there are my punched up petals. So now I'm going to turn my flower over and simply glue those on where I want them to go. So here is my finished paper flower. Let me show you what that looks like on a sample. You can see how it just adds so much to this beautiful packaging to have that festive poinsettia flower on there. Now, of course, you can make poinsettias for the holiday. We've got red ones, and I made a white one right here. But you can also use just the punch alone just to create the flower. So here's a red one that I made that doesn't have any stamping on it. And then I also made a yellow flower. This one to me almost looks like a daffodil. But my very favorite flower that I made with both of these sets isn't a holiday flower at all. To me, this almost looks like one of those beautiful Hawaiian flowers. And for this, I actually used watercolor paper and watercolored it. So stamped the images on the paper and then misted it so the ink kind of spread, and then punched it out. And you really can just create any type of flower that you want to with the Festive Flower Builder punch. And so contact your demonstrator.
Okay, so that was Stampin' Up's video on how to use the punch, and then I, of course, used some of Katie's techniques, and then I added a little technique or two of my own. So I'm going to do another project with that punch, but I did want to show a couple of these. Are just some flowers. I actually found these done by another demonstrator, but different colors of flowers using the stamp set and all the colors. It amazes me how different it looks, and it's beautiful. Oh goodness, that was quick. Okay, so here's the video of the project that I did, and you'll see that I show a little different way to stamp and punch them. So I hope that helps. Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm here to show you how I made this old-fashioned Christmas tag using Stampin' Up's Flower Builder Punch and the Reason for the Season stamp set. And these do come as a bundle, so you could save 15%. So let's get started. To begin with, I came in, I've got a couple of cardstock measurements. The craft or the crumb cake that I used is actually a 6 by 2 inch strip. And I'm also going to use our little label punch here, and I'm going to slide that in and punch it down. And that's what gives me my topper, little tag topper punch. I've got a scrap of almost artichoke. Always artichoke, sorry. And a half a sheet of the cherry cobbler cardstock. So to use this stamp set and the punch together, what I have found is somewhere I have a little template I made. Here we go. So this is actually a piece of the cherry cobbler that I punched out of that with that flower builder punch, and I marked this as the front. And I'm just going to tuck this, store it into my stamp set. But one of the things I found is it's easy for me to line up my stamps so I can stamp them all at the same time. So I can just lay my stamps down here, and I'm laying them so that the flat side is up, the stamping side is down, and I'm just going to line those all up. And they're photopolymer, as you can see. And then once I've got them lined up, I'm going to come in with my block and pick them all up, and then my cardstock. And I can just go ahead and stamp as many as I want, knowing that I want to stamp along the edge because that's where the punch will come in from. I think 5 is enough for this flower, but I'll stamp 6 to be on the safe side. And then once I do that, when I turn my punch over, I can just go ahead and line those up with the punch and punch them all at the same time. It's just an easy way to stamp them and punch them, just in case you wanted to make, hundreds of these. Okay, so once I've got that done, I'm going to move my ink out of the way. I'm going to come in with my scoreboard. And one of the things that I did, I'm just going to show a couple, and then I'll lost my scoring tool. Here it is. You can tell I've been working. My counter's a mess. So I'm just going to actually line this up so that this point is on one of the score lines up here, and this point is on the same one down here. And they don't have to be perfect. I'm just adding a little score line into them because I'm going to give this a little dimension by just folding that. And then it makes it look more like a petal. So I'm going to go and score all these, and I'll be right back. Okay, once I've got those done, I'm going to come in with a scrap piece of the cherry cobbler and punch a couple of circles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use snail. You could use anything, any adhesive that you have. I'm just going to add some snail onto this circle, and then I'm going to just go ahead and add my petals, spacing them. And you can see I'm putting a point out on this one So you could go either the point out or the point in. It gives it just a different look to the flower. Got that one done. And then I'm going to come in with the second one, do the same thing with this, and just add my petals. And of course, if you don't like the placement or you're not sure you like where something is, you can always rearrange it. That snail gives you a little bit of time to just pop things up, move them around a little bit. So there you have that. Once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a dimensional in between these layers. Pull up a dimensional and lay that down right on my flower. And then I'm going to come in with some of these pieces from the middle. And I'm actually just going to use 2. You could use more. I'm going to put this one on with a dimensional too. Add that in there. And then come in that way. And come in that way. And then you can see how quickly those flowers go together once you have all the pieces. And when you line up your stamp and stamp them quickly like that and punch them, you can do quite a few in a short amount of time. And then you can just go around and make sure, I did fold these, but you might want to fold them again just to give it a little bit more dimension. You can crinkle them up. It would be beautiful if you embossed that middle part and had that be embossed and shiny. Once you've done that, then I'm going to come in with a piece of a scrap piece here of the crushed curry. And I'm just going to punch a couple of insides. And again, they're just going to get put on with some snail. Kind of crisscross. And there you have your poinsettia. Now to do the leaves, let me clean this stamp because it has the cherry cobbler on it. Now, one of the things that you can do with this is I'm just going to punch a couple of leaves. I'll do 3 leaves. And the other thing that you can do with this is another thing I love about the photopolymer, is you can just bring in the leaf stamp and the artichoke. And because you can see right through there, you can see exactly where you're stamping. And I can go ahead and make artichoke leaves like that. So there's my 3 leaves. So just another way to stamp it. You can punch them out and then stamp them, or you can stamp them all at once. I do love stamping them all at once if I'm doing the flowers. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in with another little bit of cherry cobbler and put my tag together. So I'll stamp that "A Very Merry Christmas to You." I'm going to attach my flower with another dimensional on there, and then, oops, wrong side, glue on the back. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck those right in underneath my flower there. And just put them around on my poinsettia where I want it. And then I can come in with a little bit of our crocheted ribbon, or any of our lace ribbons. They'd be beautiful. And trim a little bit of that off. Come through the front. To the back. And I just got a really quick, like I said, a really quick Christmas tag. Now I did do one here that would be a different flower. This one is using Melon Mambo, and I didn't stamp it. I just punched it and punched all my pieces. This one I actually started with 6 layers. But you can see the different looks that you can get with this punch using different papers. This one I had a little embellishment to. And so I'm going to add the tag on there. I'll probably use some Melon Mambo ribbon and a happy birthday tag or something. But just a fun way to make a little bit of dimension. Now you don't have to have all those dimension. You could lay them flat if you wanted to put them on a card that would mail easily. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't already done so, you may want. Okay, so that is that's kind of a fun punch, and there is a new stamp set coming out in the spring mini catalog that has it's a coordinating stamp set. So that punch is going to be around, and that's great. I love lining them up with that little piece of already punched paper to line my stamps so I can stamp them all at one time. I can stamp quickly. That was kind of fun. You will notice in there that I was kind of searching for stuff, and I did giggle over here because I had thought that I took out the part where I'm cleaning the stamp and you hear the squeeze, or the squishy of the water and then the scrubbing of the stamp. I thought I took that out, but I guess I missed that one in the editing process. That happens. So I do have, now this little contest I'm going to have this time, you're just going to get a tag. You're not going to get the snowflake embellishments because this is a little bit easier. To get one of these in the mail, and I want to thank Dee and Roxy for sending me their addresses. I got those while I was watching a video, so they came through on Facebook. The question for this one is, what was the name of the stamp set that I used? First person to answer me gets, I will mail these off to you. And let me see where we are in our slides here. I want to just, oh, here I go again. Okay, so here is the products that I used, and as you'll see, there's the answer to the question. So I will be checking to see who had that answer correct. But this punch is really fun with lots of different colors. And so I found these today that I just thought they were gorgeous. And one of them was this one here. Sorry. Ooh. This one here. Why does that keep happening? This one here with the white flower that she embossed. And it looks like she embossed it with some glitter. And then a couple of purple flowers, one rich raspberry, one blackberry bliss. And then the glitter paper flowers. Good gosh, those are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. So that's cool. If anybody has any questions, now would be a good time to ask. I can quick look and see what we got going on here. Yeah, Barb likes the lining up. Teresa loves the tag. Thank you. Sarah loves the Edgelit bundle. I love bundles. I love that things come in a bundle. Okay, so it looks like Marianna Burke, you are one of the winners of one of the tags. So send me your address. You can just do that. You just click message and send it off to me. And I can get that into the mail to you. And the other winner is Denise. Denise Candelaria. Boy, I hope I'm saying these names right. Denise, if you want to send me your address, that would be great. You can either do that on a message or an email or through YouTube. You can even message me through YouTube. So anyway, I'll set those aside so that I remember tomorrow to mail them. Can you tell us again how many petals on each side size you used? Yeah, actually I can. So on I use different amounts, which is kind of nice that you can use different amounts. I'm going to go back here. So on this one, I had, sorry. On this one here, I have 5 petals of the larger petal on the bottom. And then 5 petals on the second layer, and then the 2 that crisscross at the top. The other flower that I did, the pink one, I actually did 6 petals at the bottom, 6 petals in the middle, and then 3 of the ones that line up across from each other. I kind of lined them up across and did 3. Look at Stampin' Up's. There are lots of different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like on this purple one down in the corner here, they have 8 at the bottom and 8 in the middle, and then 4 and 4. And I think that these 2 layers are the same. They're the ones that crisscross. So you can do lots of different petals. This one up here, this white one that I just absolutely think is beautiful. You can see the 4 in the corner. And then the next layer, they're actually layered dimensional up a little bit, and then there's 1 in each corner. So they're doing 4 layers, but they're doing, or 4 petals, but they also have 4 different layers. So really just play with it, and you'll come up with lots of different things that you can do with that. Carolyn used and made a lot of these flowers using the regular glitter paper. I bet they were gorgeous. Carolyn, if you would send me a picture, I'd like to see them. I just love to see other people's work. So I hope that answers most of the questions for now. This is the next card that we're going to do, and this is one, I love this technique. And obviously I like to watercolor, and obviously I laugh because I am actually wearing the colors of this card tonight. I have the plum and the blue, and I guess I like those colors. So here is the next video. Easy technique.
Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how I did this card. Now I was inspired with this card by its fellow demonstrator, Linda Heller, and I just had to hurry up and try it. It's just gorgeous, and I hope that you enjoy this, this video. So to begin with, I am using the stamp set Wonderland in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. I just love, I'm not sure about the reindeer antlers, but I love every other stamp in this set. Now, I'm sure I would love these if I figured out something to do with them. I just haven't yet. So if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. So to begin with, I'm going to have all the measurements and everything on my website, all the supplies I use, but I just wanted to go quickly through what I have here. I have got a piece of rich Ravelberry cardstock. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have two pieces actually of watercolor paper. This is our regular watercolor paper, so this is cut 4 by 5 1/4. And then I just had a little strip left over, and so that's what I'm using for my sentiment. So to begin with, I'm going to come in with some Versamark ink and the tree stamp. And you know, you can use an embossing buddy on there, but I don't care at this point if it has little white flecks on it, if it gets embossing powder around, because it's going to look like snow. And when I do this background, you don't have to really be clean. You'll notice by my hands that I've got ink all over them. Anyway, so I inked up the tree stamp with Versamark, and I'm going to stamp this onto my paper. And when I'm using watercolor paper, I do have a tendency to hold the stamp there for a while because I really want that ink to get down into the fibers of the watercolor paper. So there you go. Then I'm going to take a dauber. I've got one here somewhere. Here it is. I'm just using one of our little daubers, and I'm going to put ink on it, Versamark ink, and I'm going to make a moon. And then I'm also going to take it, and this time I'm going to just rub it across the bottom here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because I don't care if some of it doesn't get embossing powder on it. So once I've done that, you certainly can't see much right now, but you will when I start to watercolor. So I am going to take my white, and I always use another piece of paper or some kind of a container to keep the embossing powder in, just so that it's easy for me to get it back in the container. So I can just do this and then put it all back into the container. And I don't know about you, but embossing powder seems to grow. Once I open up a jar, I seem to then have more than fit in the jar before. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat set this with my heat gun, and you are going to be able to watch it heat. When it does, you'll see it melts. It takes a little bit of time, but you're better off when you're heat embossing to hold it into one area until that starts to melt, and then just move your gun around the paper. You're better off to do this than to just be running over your paper, because you're not staying anywhere long enough for it to melt. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes when I see people embossing, they're doing this, and that's not really getting much done. It's not melting your paper. But once it starts to melt, it goes fairly quickly. There you have it. Okay, so then this is ready to go. And of course, like I said, you can, oh yeah, you can see a little bit in there in the shiny of what I have embossed. And you want to make sure that all of your embossing got melted. Now I am going to use a couple of inks, and I'm just going to squeeze them and make a little palette in the lids of them. And that's Island Indigo, Rich Razzleberry, and Pacific Point. I just love this. And the thing about this card is that it's always, you're never going to get the same thing twice. So once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm using my aqua painter, and I have the tube there filled with water. I'm going to go ahead and get this flowing with some water, and I'm just going to brush water onto my cardstock. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm using the watercolor paper, so it's nice because it holds up to lots of water. But I want to get some water on there before I start placing my ink. And I'm going to start with the Island Indigo. And I'm just kind of laying down a base coat here of Island Indigo. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see how that embossing resists the ink. So I'm just brushing down some color. And then I'm going to come in with the Rich Razzleberry and add some color into that. I know you're probably thinking, what in the heck? But when I get done with this, it's so beautiful. And then I'm going to come in with this darker Pacific Point and add in some shading, some blue. I think I might put more of a even line on the edge here. Just, I don't know, I kind of like the look. And you can see, I just put color on. It does not have to be perfect. Because as it dries, it's going to change. It's going to look different. Maybe come in with a little more purple. Excuse me, Rich Razzleberry. The more water you use, the lighter your color will be. If I wanted it to be darker, I would just use less water. And then once I'm done with this, blend that out a little bit, I'm going to take my aqua painter, and I'm just going to get that water flowing out of there, and then put droplets on. And it's actually, I do like quite a bit. And as that dries, the ink will, I don't know, it just moves the ink around. It's really cool. Just gives it a really different look and background. But that's as simple as that card is. Now the hardest part is waiting for it to dry. And if you don't want to wait, you can hit it with the heat gun, which I will probably do for this video just to speed things along. But I won't make you watch me do that. So I'm going to go and heat this, and I'll be right back. One of the things that you may want to do before you heat set that is you're going to take a paper towel and just wipe off the water and ink that's on your embossing. And that it just resists it. It comes right off. So I just wanted to give you that little tip. Okay, now I'm going to heat it. Okay, so it's probably not totally dry right now because it is still a little warped, and it will flatten out as it dries. But I want you to look at the texture in that image with those water droplets. You can see where it just kind of disperses the ink and sends it around. But no two cards are going to look the same. But that's kind of the beauty of it. And I love this card. It would make a fabulous sympathy. If you just put a sympathy greeting on that, you'd have a great little sympathy card. But I'm going to show you quickly how I did the banner. So I have the piece of scrap paper, And I'm going to come in with my rich raspberry, and I'm going to stamp this, and let's hope I get it straight. And then once I've done that, I can see that I actually have more room on this end to do a banner, so I think I might move it and just cut my banner on this side. And so I'm going to snip it a little bit here, up the middle, and then angle those like that. And that's how I'm going to do my banner for this card. And I'm probably going to put it on this side just because that's the way it looks good. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of the rich raspberry cardstock. And I actually used our tear and tape because this is a little bit thicker cardstock. The watercolor paper is a little bit thicker. I am going to use the tear and tape, and that'll make sure that number one, I get it on there, and it's nice and flat. I love this because it's actually easy to use. Okay, and then I'm going to put that onto my card base. Beautiful. I just love this. Okay, and then the last thing that I did is I took a little bit of our silver cording, cut some of that off, and I'm just going to show you quickly how I did this. I added the cording like at the halfway point onto my card base here, and then I added the dimensional to hold that on there. And then it was easier for me that way to then tie this into a bow, because that cording is going to stay on my, right at the end of this piece of a banner. So once you have it on there, then you just need to just adjust your bow. I just want it to be a little one. And then take off the backing off that dimensional. I'll add another one to the other end of this banner, and then attach that to my card. Really a fun, beautiful, beautiful Christmas card. And like I said, no two look exactly alike. And then on the inside, I just did the all is calm, all is bright with a couple little snowflakes using the same ink pads. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Okay, so there was one of my cards I did. This one I really loved. Something about those colors. Now wait till you see what I'm wearing. See, I got my purple, I got my blue. I coordinate with my cards. But it is fun to see the difference with the water spots and what it does, and it just makes them totally different. And rich raspberry, Pacific Point, I haven't used those colors for a long time, so it was kind of fun to use some of those colors I hadn't used for a while. Now I did have a couple questions. Becky put up in the thing that she used the antlers from the stamp set. Way to go, Becky. And something else. Oh, somebody had talked about the precision plate and what I thought of it. So this is the precision plate. This is a hard metal plate from Stampin' Up. And when you use it, oh, whoops. Sorry about that. So this is the magnetic platform. This is the precision plate. You're going to lay that on top of that, and then you're going to put your paper, and then your die, and then the plastic sheet, the plastic board over the top of that, and that goes through. So it's just one plastic board. Nice board, huh? Pretty soon I'm going to have to get a new one. And then, or if you're not going to use, if you don't have the magnetic platform, then you're going to go ahead and use this platform. And again, same thing. The book is totally closed. The precision plate goes on top, then your paper, then your frame or your thinlet, and then the plastic plate, and that goes through. And I would recommend that when you do this, especially if you're using a real intricate die, that you run it through your Big Shot once and then run it back twice. And the other thing that I found is don't go trying to go as fast as you can through your big shot. Just crank it through, and crank it through even a little bit slower than you normally would. It will really give it time for that cut to be good. And if you're cutting glitter paper, I would recommend that you cut glitter paper from the back. So flip the glitter paper down onto the precision plate and then put the thinlet on and then cut it through. And the glitter paper has kind of a plastic coating, and so it's a little bit harder to get it to cut through. But yeah, hit it a couple times, run it through your machine twice, and do a little bit slower. I don't know why you're getting a repeat of my voice, Carolyn. Do you have me open on a phone or on a computer? If you're on YouTube, if you have me on 2 different screens, that's why I'm repeating. Is anybody else having that issue? Because I am not. And Becky used the antlers on a Rudolph, so that's funny. Anybody else have any questions? I don't see any questions over on YouTube at this point. You guys are pretty quiet over there. I do have coming up here another little contest, and this one too will get, not only will you get the snowflake elements, but there'll be 2 winners, and each one of you will get one of these cards. So that's exciting. And we will get ready to do that right this moment. Anybody else getting a repeat? No. Doesn't look like it. I think it might be something on your end, Carolyn. You can close out and come back in. It should bring you right back to where you are here. I hope. Okay, so contest time. Who's ready?
If you want,
I think first I have the supplies that I used for the card. They're all listed there. And here is the contest. Winter Wonderland. This has 3 answers. I want them all in the same line so that it's easy to read. I should have had like music playing during this time, but I can't because I don't want to mess up YouTube. Okay, well, it looks like Diana says it's fine there. Sue, I hope you do learn loads of stuff from me. Haven't seen the right answer yet on Facebook or on YouTube. Do 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 do. Did I lose everybody on Facebook? There's not. You don't see the contest page. Did it go away? Oh. It sure did. Sorry. I don't know what I did there. Looks like I screen shared my comments board. Imagine that. Let's try that one. Now do you see the question? Or the... I hope somebody sees it. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So these are just some cards that I found around, and I did find this little antler card. I don't know, maybe that's the one you did, Becky? You made a little Rudolph? That's adorable. I found that one on Pinterest today. And just thought I'd pop it in here so that you could see it. But it's just some really fun, simple cards with this particular stamp set. Okay, so we do have a winner. Now I have to look through all the listings here. Carol Beth Banks Biscusi. I hope I got that right. You are the winner on Facebook, and we already had a winner on YouTube. Which was Denise. That's awesome. Congratulations, ladies. Okay, just so you're aware, this month, as part of my Pay It Forward campaign, I am offering up 2 tutorials this month using the Flurry of Wishes stamp set and the Peaceful Pine stamp set. These are great tutorials. It's 4 cards each with PDFs, printable PDFs, and YouTube and videos showing you how to make those projects. These can only be, I only give them out with somebody who places an order with me or is in my virtual club. Those are some fun tutorials. The weekly deals this week are, these are them, and the precision plate is on a weekly deal, on a weekly special this week, so that's kind of a good deal to get a little discount on that. Stampin' Up! Has just announced, actually on their Australian website, but there is a sale starting tomorrow. There's a year-end sale. I have no idea what's in it. I won't know till actually midnight tonight, 12:01 tonight. I may be able to find it. So if you may want to check into that and see what's on sale. This gonna be on sale. Don't forget my Pay It Forward campaign. I'd love you to be a part of that and help me find some families, needy families. We all know them. So this is the Hostess code, and I'm really excited about this because this month, as you know, I give a little packet of goodies when I have people order, and if you use this Hostess code on your order, the packet of goodies that you're going to get come from the occasions catalog. I'm going to send out paper samplers to those people that place an order before Saturday, or have until Saturday to place an order. But I'm really excited about that you're going to get some fun little sneak peeks of the paper, and I am going to do a little sneak peek tonight of some of that stuff here shortly. But if you use that Hostess code and you shop in my store before Saturday, you will get a packet of a sampler pack of all the designer series paper that are in the next catalog. So that's exciting. We are going to do a door prize drawing. So if you're on Facebook, there's a button down below that says door prize. Go ahead and click that, fill out the door prize, send it in. Some of you already have. There is one down in the description on YouTube, and there's also one in the description on my website at DDStamps.com. Those all link into the door prize form, which what happens is before we get started, I pick a number, and that number is associated with a spreadsheet that I have, and I'm coming on here. So before we get started, I write down a number, and tonight's number is 45. Whoever lands on that spreadsheet in the blank that's 45, they get the door prize, and I think they're going to be pretty happy because tonight's door prize happens to be the Antique Tag stamp set. It's a Hostess set, so it's not everybody in the world gets it, but this is going to be the door prize for tonight. So whoever's name is on number 45 is going to get this, and that's pretty exciting. Check and see if there's any other questions, and then we will do sneak peeks. Sneak peeks are coming. I'm going to check for comments. Oh, good, Carol Beth, you send me your address in either a message or an email, and I will get that sent out to you. Sue, I don't know what's going on. A few people are having some trouble with hearing double, and I don't know why. Diana saw the antlers on a penguin, and it was adorable. Sharon Miller Grant has also seen the antlers with the woodland texture folder. Makes it look like a buck behind a tree. Oh, you're right. That's good. What is the precision plate? The precision plate is a part of the Big Shot. It's used with our very intricate dies, like the ornament dies that are in the holiday catalog, and there's some new dies coming out in the Occasions Mini. Oh, Sue found out that the reason she had a double voice was because she had my site open twice. So yeah, if you have me open twice, you're going to hear me double, and that's probably too much. I do not see the listing of items used for each card. You will afterwards. I will be posting up the slides after this, so that you'll know what I used for each. And eventually, my hope is to get them up on my website. I try to do that and try to be fast about it, but it doesn't always happen. And with Christmas here, things are getting a little crazy. So I want to let the winner know, Peggy Moberg, you have won the door prize. So you will need to send me your address either through email or through a message on Facebook. So congratulations to you. That's exciting. And remember that the orders have to be placed by Saturday. Use the Hostess code, get some special products. I've got them here. I'm going to quick do the sneak peeks. If you want to stick around to do that, that would be great. You could ask questions. I am not showing a lot of everything. I'm showing you some of my favorites because, honest to gosh, I loved a lot of it. And I don't want you here all night because we're going to be here a long time as it is. So, Dee really enjoyed it. Thanks for the. Oh, thank you. She said she thinks my eyes are beautiful. They are very blue, and it really depends. Especially if I'm wearing blue and purple, then they really get blue. So it's not fake. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the stuff I loved. So this was the embellishment that I loved the most. Was this. Look at how cute they are. They're little honeycombs. And of course they have, look at them. They're just adorable. I don't know why. I just think they're cute because they're so tiny. I mean, they're not very big at all. And they have a stamp set that coordinates. So you can put honeycombs on like the belly of a chick, ice cream cone. It's just cute. Ribbons that I loved. Look at this ribbon. It's Pool Party glitter ribbon. Oh, and it's so soft, and it's so pliable, and it's so pretty. I think I might even put little snippets of ribbons into your packets this week too. This one here is Watermelon Wonder, and it too is so soft. But look at how nice and thick that is. It's gorgeous, beautiful ribbon, beautiful. We're gonna have fun with that. Okay, so my favorite bundle. My favorite bundle out of the set is the balloon celebration and the coordinating balloon punch. This is a photopolymer set. They're actually bigger than what they show, so they're pretty good size balloons. But I just think it's really cute and has lots of fun little sayings. And I'm excited about this punch. Balloons are big. My favorite embossing folder is this one. I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, really, seriously, this box just got kind of ripped open at 5 o'clock tonight because that's when I finished cleaning my room. This one is called World Traveler. It's a map. It's a globe. Too cute. I love that one. And that, of course, has a suite of products that go with it, with paper and all that other stuff. My favorite framelits. I don't even drink tea, but look at how cute these little teacups are, and teapot, and little fork and spoon. They're just adorable, and they're pretty good size. And they too come with a stamp set that coordinates with it. But really, these were like my favorite framelit. And I don't drink tea, but paper and all that other stuff too. My favorite stamp set, Bear Hugs. It's so cute, and it comes with a framelit set that is a bundle, so you can get framelits with it. That's what I love. Now, all these products will not be available until January 5th. This was a favorite kit, and I was going to show it tonight, but honestly, I just got it. But it comes in this great little box, and it's a kit. It's actually like a home decor piece. These are the products that you get, and so then you switch out the little card there. But look at how big this little clipboard stand is, and it's a little stand with a clipboard on it. It's chalk, so you can make it so it looks like head chalk on it or whatever. And then make all those little projects so that you change it out for each season for your home decor. I thought that was cute. My favorite celebration set, because we know celebration's coming. In fact, I was going to show that. And for those of you who are wondering, I am sending out catalogs to everybody who placed an order from me this past year, which is a lot. They're all stacked up over here, and I got to deal with that at some point. But they will be going out here in the next week or two. But this is the celebration this year, so you can kind of see some of the products in there. I can't show you, I can't open it and show you because that's just the rules, and I'm a rule follower. Lots of fun products in here. And actually in the back, there's a couple of products that are only going to be available for the first half of celebration, and then they're going to come out with a couple more products for the second half of celebration. Petra just came in. And then this is the cover of the mini catalog. You can see that this one is all about the parties, but lots of fun little products in there. I'm probably not showing it. It's kind of blurry, but there's that little balloon set that I love right there. Anyway, I'm going to send out catalogs, and they're coming to you soon. My favorite celebration set at this moment in time is this one here called Botanicals for You. I love this one. Look how big it is. It's a big stamp. So that is my favorite celebration set at the moment. Okay, so I told you I was going to give you paper, and I did order extra just for this event. So this paper here is Going Places. It goes with the world embossing folder. I don't know how I'm going to do this. There we go. It's like a galaxy. It's very masculine, but yet can be used for lots of things. So this is the Going Place paper. I like it. It's very different. And then this one here is the tea. This goes with the tea set, so you can. I don't know how I'm going to do this and make this easy. Here we go. Let me get this out of the way. So little teacups, hearts, teapots. Really a fun color combination. Little lemons, aren't they cute? Adorable. And then this way, you can see this side. Lots of bright, fun colors. So that's that one. This one here is called Love Blossoms. This is a great suite. Not only does it have great paper for Valentine's Day, but it's got the most adorable, intricate thinlet that you will need the precision plate for, and stamp set that coordinates. But I love the color combination. This one has Blushing Bride, Crumb Cake, and Rose Red. They look great together. And then this is the other side. So you get lots of different kinds of paper. The big paper that I liked. They went all out this year with this designer series paper. This is this one's called Botanical Gardens. This piece right here is my absolute favorite paper in the whole pack. Everything that we have, but I'll show you quickly. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This has a stamp set that coordinates so that you can actually stamp on these images and make them a little more detailed. It's really cool. I'll do a video. Little flowers. Yeah, so this one too. This one coordinates too with the stamp set that you can stamp on. So that's just kind of a fun new technique thing with the paper and the stamp set coordinate. And then this is the opposite side. There is some great color combinations, and that's just really fun. And this one I actually showed you before because I got this one earlier in the year, but I had to buy another pack of it because I used up the other pack, and I love it. Well, let's see here. How can we? Here we go. Maybe. Isn't it beautiful? Here's those balloons. I can't wait to make some fun cards. And then go to this side. So, and then last, there's a big pack of birthday paper. This was the one that I actually helped. I did a presentation at our event in Washington, and this was the stuff I got to play with, was all the birthday paper. This is a huge pack of paper. It's 12 by 12. You get lots of different designs. Hey, this is easier to flip through too. But a lot of fun. I'm going to have birthday paper for every event, every birthday I can think of this year. So I am going to check around for questions. If you have any, now would be the time to ask them. And I will. It doesn't look like I have many questions. So that's awesome. If nobody has any other questions, I am going to get ready to say goodnight. I want to make sure that each and every one of you have a fabulous holiday, no matter what it is that you celebrate. Enjoy this time. Spend time with your friends and your family and have fun. And, you know, it's just a great time of year. Okay, so Susan doesn't, I'm not understanding the purpose of the precision plate. Well, it just makes it easier to cut those real intricate dies. You don't necessarily have to have it, but it's supposed to be easier. Susan, I'll do a little product review on it one of these days and help you with that. I hope that helps. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, I should check my website. Otherwise, I am going to say goodnight. I know we ran a little long tonight. I kind of expected that we would, just because I had so much to show. I don't see any questions. Yes, somebody just asked, you will get, catalogs will be going out soon. I didn't know I was on, sorry. So anyway, if nobody has any further questions, I am going to say goodnight. I will be on the computer for half hour, 45 minutes or so here, just trying to wrap things up and make sure I got everybody's questions answered. Enjoy your holidays, and thanks for a fabulous year. It's been a lot of fun. Next time we have one of these will be probably January 5th. I'm thinking a celebration kickoff for the fun of it. And so take care and have a great evening. Bye-bye.